Are we on? Are we on? Welcome to Basketball Heads Live. I am your host, Glenn Poole Harding. And oh boy, we have a very special guest. But before we do that, I'd like to give a big shout out to my bros and my girls at Ballside Middle for showing me some appreciation. The Frank Mickens Award, Education Award, presented to your boy, and also a certificate of appreciation. And it says, it came out of the loop. All right. It says, in recognition of your contribution to the Brooklyn basketball community as head of Basketball Heads LLC, you have revitalized Brooklyn basketball with your creativity and position for New York City basketball. Your live broadcast while interviewing some of the greatest contributors to Brooklyn basketball and New York City as a whole. But since this is Brooklyn based, I understand. Brooklyn basketball has guided a newfound interest in our basketball community in the ball side era. The Ballside Middle Foundation honors your achievement and appreciate your contribution. So with saying that, let's start the show. Appreciate you, Ballside Middle. All right. Tonight, this basketball head is a New York City Rucker Park legendary announcer that helped shape the landscape of the street ball culture in the late 90s, EBC Rucker days. But this basketball head, legendary time on the mic, goes a little further back than most, with one of hip-hop's most influential groups in the Disco 4, who was signed to Enjoy Records. It's one of the first rap groups to get a record deal. So please pay homage. In 1982, when pioneer hip-hop radio DJ Mr. Magic challenged the Disco 4 to play against another legendary group, the Crash Crew, to play each other in the basketball game, would indirectly give birth to the Entertainers Basketball Classic. The EBC combined hip-hop and street basketball at a level that had not been reached. This basketball head paired with fellow Harlemite Duke Tango to become a legendary announcing duo. The style of street ball announcing created by two basketball heads has been emulated all over the world, still to this day. During this time at EBC, this basketball head hosted a public access show called Radio Not Videos. Viewers were able to call in and vote on the latest music videos, much like TRL and 106 in Park. Talking about innovative. Man, this is real history right here. This basketball head has contributed to hip-hop in various ways throughout its history and continues to do so today. So, without further ado, help me welcome to the show, New York City legendary EBC Rucker Park announcer, my guy, my brother, Al B. Cash.
Y'all ready?
Y'all ready?
Yes. You have just stepped out into the world of chaos, where everybody goes hard. Come on. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Or go home. Never back down. You gotta hold your own. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. East Coast. Go hard. West Coast. Go hard. Midwest. Go hard. Dirty. Hurry up, everybody, get online, buy your tickets, cause the game about to start.
What's happening, brother? What's happening?
What's good? I like that introduction, the way you bring it in. I like that. I was rocking.
Thank you. And listen, brother, I was part of the hip hop family for a very long time. That intro show is actually my song that I done a long time ago.
Okay, that's
no doubt. But just to let people know. Hey, man. Listen, if I would have known, I didn't know. Man, that was my joy back in the days.
Okay, thanks.
Oh, man, we going to dive into all that, man. I want to say thank you, man, for coming on the show. Appreciate you, my brother. You definitely a legend, staple New York City basketball scene, man. And now hip-hop, man. Like, it's the 50th year. So congratulations to you.
Thank you.
And your contributions.
Thank you.
No doubt. Salute to my guy Dorian on the check-in. He's early. He early. Right on time as always. Showing love. Yes. Definitely the blueprint. Definitely. Shout out to my guy Dorian. My guy, definitely a friend of the show. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. Man, who introduced you to the game? Oh, hold on. Look. See? Yeah, that's that moment right there. You're giving that history. You right? You're giving that history right there in the background. Yeah. Yeah. Facts. Who introduced you to the game, man?
When you say the game, basketball, or just entertainment in general?
Let's start with basketball first.
Okay. Well, I'm out of Drew Hamilton Projects in Harlem. I played ball. I was very, very good in ball also. And I mean, just growing up as a kid, being around older players, seeing them play, like in Drew Hamilton, we had courts. We call it the Firehouse, and we call it the Big Park. And my dream was always to play in the Big Park. And eventually I moved over to the Big Park, and I played. I could have played high school basketball, but by me DJing, it kind of, and I was getting money from DJing, it kind of shaved me away from actually trying to pursue it, far as the college career or maybe the NBA, who the heck knows. But mostly just being from Harlem, being in the hood, having great ball players. I mean, the project I came from, if you was a great ball player in Harlem, you came to Drew Hamilton Projects to play. You understand?
Right.
I played with people like Artie Green, Gary Springer, Hilton Graham, Amp, like all of those guys, I played with, and I did well against them. And here's a quick story I got to share with you. Artie Green, Anti-Gravity, Marquette, 150th Street between, 8th or 7th Avenue, I believe he lived. When he came to Drew Hamilton that day, I played on his team. And I was like, oh, shit. I didn't mean to curse, but I'm like, oh, I'm playing with Artie Green. So long story short, one of the guys on my team shot a jump shot. Yo, the ball came off the rim. Artie Green jumped. He dunked on all 9 players. And mind you, I'm including the players on his team. So, like, when I talk about, basketball, honestly, that's like one of the most memorable times that, I like to talk about.
Man, those stories you were sharing with me up at Rucker, when, it took about 3 guys to kind of confirm, because 2 guys told me before you confirmed it when we talked about Artie Green. Maybe he left the game, or he found out and he left the game, and the whole park walked behind him and left the park.
Yes, that's a true story. He fouled out at a basketball game, 139th Street, Lennox Avenue, and the whole entire park walked right behind him once he fouled out. That was incredible. And another thing, the Big Shorts. He is the reason why the Big Shorts came out, because he had calves that was this big. So he had a game, I believe it was at Marquette, and they actually made him some shorts. And the rest is history. What you see today with the Big Shorts is because of Artie Green. If you look back at the Dr. J's and all that stuff, you see them with the little tight shorts. Now Artie,
we all had them. We all had them back
then. Yeah. Artie definitely changed the game.
Wow. So many ways. Salute to all my people on the check-in. Like I said, Dorian Green, my guy Cal Griffin, all things hoops. Brooklyn's in the building. Cassie Ed's in the building. My guy Tucson, all ball. My guy's in the building. Cassie Edge again. Appreciate you, King. Look, for all the things that you have seen coming up, man, and you tell these stories like it was just yesterday. That's just so amazing. When when you came up, you kind of solidified what the other guys was already telling me on the sidelines. And when you explained it, I could kind of envision it and see it when you kind of talking about these things, man. So I want to go back to that time, because I think it's very important that we give this message out to the young guys, right? Because you had to wait your turn, right? You had to go from the fire hydrant to the big park. You had to earn your way to get there, right? And then you had to kind of see if you can stay there.
Right?
Because it's a process. And a lot of kids want to jump into things and get it quick, not knowing there's a process to certain things. And let's talk about that process, and then your movement from basketball into the hip-hop scene.
Well, like I said, coming up, 3 sports, you know what I'm saying? And what's incredible, that these guys I was looking up to, I was, short a little or whatever. But as of today, I find out like I'm only 3 years, 4 years, maybe 5 years apart from these guys. But those was my mentors. Those was the guys that I looked up to. If I'm laying up the ball with my right hand and I get stuck on the backboard, those are the guys that say, yo, you should have switched to your left hand. You understand what I'm saying? So like you said, it is a process. Unless, some people are gifted and they come out naturally, they able to play up. Like the way things are now, I want to go back to the early 2000s when my sons was playing. The coaches always had these kids play up. They didn't play with their own age group.
Preach.
You know what I'm saying? Which I really couldn't understand at the time. So, I mean, I was against that. I did allow my youngest son to play up. But, and it's funny, my oldest son, I didn't allow him to play. I remember, and this is a quick story too. I just got to share this because we talk about kids. Gauchos wanted my son, Lil Al, to play with them. And I was like, yo, Gauchos want you? Bet, let's make it happen. But the thing is, and some people gonna laugh, but I'm gonna keep it 100. The only reason why Lil Al didn't play with Gauchos was because he was an altar boy at St. Charles, Bormel. And that was more important to me as far as academics and stuff. You understand? So he didn't get an opportunity to go play Gauchos and stuff like that. But, just to let you know that I made the right decision, my son is the head coach at Clark Atlanta University. You understand? And
we're gonna call a tech on that one right there. And give you congratulations on that one. That's an awesome job, man. We call that a positive tech on the show. That's awesome right there, man. That's awesome.
Right. And, and his biggest idol is I think the famous name that me and my partner ever gave was Skip to My Lou. And what I laugh about is Lil Al was up, he's in his 30s now. But when he was 6 years old, he might have seen as many games as I did. You know, but the crazy thing, what I'm trying to get to is when Al played school ball, he would commit himself and try to be Skip. You know, and you know, that's kind of been his downfall far as really taking it to the next level. But as like I said, you know, through academics and listening to what Pop said, he's the head coach at Clark Atlanta University. So, you know, I just gotta give him big props. Shout out to my son, Coach Jordan.
That's right. Shout out, Coach. Shout out, shout out. And here go another tech. The fact that you just breezed by the fact that you gave Skip to My Lou his name, you and your partner, you just kind of breezed through that like, yeah, we gotta get, like, here's the deal, y'all. Y'all have to understand this. In New York City, and this goes for all over the world, but it started right here in the Mecca. You didn't pick your nickname. Somebody had to give you the name. And the people who gave you the name had to be certified. I'm going to say that again. You didn't name yourself, especially if you was a ball player. It came from the people. And if they were certified, let me just say that. You don't have to be certified, but if they were certified, which these two gentlemen were and are still to this day, it meant so much more. We don't have to run off everybody. Just name off a few people who you guys name. Number one, Skip to My Lou.
All right, well, we had Skip to My Lou. We had The Best Kept Secret. We had The Future. We had The Terminator. Oh, man, it's so many. I mean,
yo, hold on, time out. This is the most text I've blown in the first 5 minutes 17 minutes of the show. Terminator. Why Terminator? Y'all gave that to Ron Matthias, right? Why Terminator?
Right. Why did we?
Yes.
Yo, because his game was termination. Like, he was destroying players. You know, he had the best teardrop before it had a name in the world. You know, like a lot of people try to do the teardrop, but he can actually hit 40 on you with that one hand. You understand? And he was very strong, very aggressive. I mean, he was really, in my opinion, an all-around ball player. And the other thing, people don't even understand that we wasn't sanctioned at the time, right? So we had a lot of different up-and-coming college players and high school players. So we couldn't call them by their government name. So it was up to us to come up with a name. You know, it would have been corny if his name was John and we call him Bobby. I mean, nah, it wasn't like that. And we would judge you by your character. You know, we would name you after movies. We would name you after dance moves. You know, it varies. It was all about your personality. And the main thing, and this got killed over the years, is to earn a nickname, you don't get it at the first game you play. You have to earn it. Maybe the second, maybe the third game. And then the blessing, like, people don't even understand that when Skip played out there as a 15-year-old, we called him the Energizer because he was so quick.
Me hearing the Energizer now doesn't pop as the way Skip to My Lou pops.
Right.
Who knows if it would have been the Energizer, we would have got used to it. But hearing Skip all of my years, what made you guys switch it?
Because he was coming up the baseline. By now, this is a year later. First of all, I just want to clarify this. When Skip first played, like I said, he was 15 years old, and he might have been playing with guys 20, 24, 25. So he was the quickest guy on the court. He would get the ball, he would drop, and he would run up the court, you know, do his thing. But one day, maybe a year later or so, he was older, he was maturer, he was better. So he was killing him. We was calling him the Energizer. So he's coming up the right-hand side, going towards the handball court, if you're familiar with Rucker Park. And
Yes.
all of a sudden, he started skipping. And Duke said, "This is Rafer skipping." And then he started skipping again. And then all of a sudden, I started singing, "Skip, skip, skip to my Lou." And the name just stuck on him. It stuck on him. It's crazy.
Wow, wow. This is awesome right here. This is like simply amazing. Are you there? You good?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. This is simply amazing. Now, as you know, you're talking, right? The people are just lighting it up, right? Check it out. Check out your screen. We got the Predator, Dancing Doogie, All Day, MVP. Who was MVP? It was that Pookie Wilson?
Pookie Wilson.
Pookie Wilson, yes.
One of the greatest.
General Electric, my guy Junie Sanders. Showtime. Who was Showtime?
Well, it was two Showtimes out there. You know, one Showtime actually came to the tournament with the name, and then we had I can't remember his government. Then you had Showtime that went to St. John's, the point guard. I can't think of his...
Yes.
Right.
My God, wow, this is crazy. This is crazy right here.
Right.
Wow. They're going Mr. Excitement All Day, Steve Burt. Captain Nappy, who I played with in AAU in high school. Of course, MVP. Anti-Gravity, Chris Brooks.
That's
wow.
right.
Wow. What about Corey Williams is the original? Now, which Corey Williams are we talking about? Showtime Corey Williams?
I believe that we did call Corey Showtime, and then you had the other Corey that was called Homicide. Matter of fact, you know, I always pray for him because he's sick. You know what I'm saying? Stage 4.
Wow.
Going out to him. You know.
Hold on, we talking about the one that's in Australia?
Right. Yes. He's very sickly.
Wow. I didn't know
sir.
that. Man, get well soon, brother. Get well soon. Praise go up to you, man.
But what I want to jump on, because people got to understand. Okay, so we met Rucker Park, and I told you who was the greatest player in EBC history, in my opinion.
Yes. There's a lot of people giving a lot of feedback on that one.
Listen, Daryl Mack, if I said it right, like I'm getting excited right now, right? Daryl McDonald. He would have been the greatest all-time EBC player, hands down. Now, the guy L made a comment in your post about Master Rob or whatever. Yes, I did say Master Rob, but that's after D-Mac left. If D-Mac would have played the extended time that Master Rob played, it definitely would have been a jump ball. Master Rob was a great player, passer, Showtime. He did all that. But D-Mac, oh my God, like Mr. Excitement, like, and I'm sticking to my grounds with that. And now we talking 40 years plus, me commentating games and seeing games in EBC Rucker Park. You understand? So like you said, everybody has their opinion, but in my opinion, Daryl Mack was that dude. I just want to clarify. I'm sticking to that.
Nah. That's real. And that player from St. John's is Dal Showtime Hill.
Hill.
Friend
Right,
of the show. Yes, definitely.
Right. Dal.
Definitely.
Right.
Yeah. So, man, this is crazy. Dorian is lighting it up. He said, half man, half amazing. And McNasty, rest in peace, Conrad McCrae. For sure. Look, Ronald McCann said D-Mac was nice, but not the greatest.
Who said that?
Ronald McCants.
Yo, D Mac was that dude.
Hey, Ronald, who you think was the greatest then? If you like,
Right.
again, remember, it's all about who that person think is the greatest, right? So it's just like when people always hit me, man, how you call this guy a legend? How you call this? I said the legend is in the eye of the beholder. Who might a legend to me might not be a legend to you.
Oh, okay.
We still got people out here that think LeBron James is better than Michael Jordan. That's just another story. All right, we're not gonna go there. D-Mac would have been the greatest if he stayed. That's what you saying. That's what Dorian said. Yes.
Yes. If he would have stayed, yes, hands down. Nobody can take that away. You can go back and ask any of the great players that participated in the early, I want to say late 80s, early 90s about D-Mac. Yo, hands down, he was just blessed. He had a gift of all gifts, man. I'm telling you. And then, you got to give credit to the people he played with too. He played with the great Pookie Wilson, Doogie. Like, yo, oh my God, like I'm telling
you. We gonna come right back to that basketball scene. But what I want to talk about right now, we're just gonna switch it up a little bit. Hip hop is celebrating its 50th year, right? You have been around from the beginning. So explain to me your introduction and your connection to the culture, because you had a hand in shaping hip hop as we know it, like respectfully.
Right. So it's crazy, and shout out to DJ Hollywood. I have a little interview that we did, and I was talking about how myself, Donald Dee, and B Fats was the first hip hop DJs in Harlem. And Hollywood called me up and he was like, yo, how you gonna say this? How you gonna say that? So I broke it down to him. I said I was 12 and a half years old. I had a neighbor that was a DJ, and I used to take his kids to school. So one day, his name was Larry D. He gave me an opportunity to play, mess with the turntables. So eventually, and this is like all true story, I'm gonna try to make it as fast as I can. One day he had a show at St. Charles Borromeo. They called the Casino Night. And to this day, I think he set this up. He said, I'll be right back. I have to go to the bathroom. So he went to the bathroom. The record was getting ready to run out. And I got up on there and I mixed the next record in. And the rest is history. And mind you, this is 1973. 1973. So from that point on, I started going to his crib, learning. And see, the older guys like the Pete DJ Jones, the Flowers, Kool Herc, none of them can DJ, to be honest with you. All they did was blend the record in. You understand? They didn't mix it. You understand? So I learned. And then another thing is a lot of DJs, it's a thing called queuing device. And listen to hear what the next record is playing. A lot of DJs before myself, they didn't have that. So, like I shout out to the Bronx with the word hip hop. You understand what I'm saying? And a lot of people, they said that myself and other people that was there in the early 70s are not hip hop DJs, which is a joke. You understand? I'm a party DJ at the time. You understand? So we played at, and I'm running through it. Harlem hip hop started in Drew Hamilton Projects, 1974. That's when we took the music out in the park, plugged in a lamppost, and all that other stuff that you hear that happened in other boroughs. And I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm not gonna bite my tongue. The Bronx, I respect them, but I don't think that they really, really became relevant until they crossed that bridge to come to Harlem. You understand what I'm saying? Like even and shout out to Grandmaster Cash, Cold Crush Brothers. Like he is the ambassador, in my opinion, of all hip hop. Why? Because when Cold Crush was no longer doing what they was doing, he still was doing it. He was talking about it. You understand? And, you know, I shout that out. But we were doing it in Harlem the same time they was doing it in the Bronx. Renaissance Ballroom, Audubon Ballroom, Randy's Place, PAL, Hornet Mansion, and I can go on and on and on and on. Now, if there's doubt out there, let's ask some of the guys that came after us, which was Treacherous D, Kumo D, Dougie Fresh, Spoonie G, and it goes on and on and on. And what I didn't mention, we had the biggest hip hop crew ever in Harlem. Why? And the name of the crew was Sapphire Crew, because nobody else was doing it. You understand? Nobody else was doing it. We had people down from every block. We had hustlers. We had stick-up kids. We had straight-up gangsters, because everybody wanted to be part of this new genre of music.
Now, there was no hip-hop records, right? At the time. You was taking the break beats. I think, and I was watching the Kane episode on Drink Champs yesterday, and what he was explaining was the reason why DJ Kool Herc gets the credit, because he was blending the beats that became hip hop, right? He also mentioned there was guys in Brooklyn that was doing it, guys in Queens that was doing it, but they were mixing the party music at the time, which was the disco, right? And again, this is what I'm listening from him and hearing, that the reason why he gets the credit for it, because he was kind of taking just those break beats, which became the staple for hip hop, and blending it together and just playing that part, which kind of revolutionized what we was doing later on. Would you say that?
I agree with that. I agree with that. Hurt also was known for the sound system.
Got you.
Understand what I'm saying? But my problem with it is, when did the name hip hop come?
They said Hollywood. This is again.
Okay. I feel that. What I'm trying to tell you is, Hollywood didn't claim hip hop. The name hip hop. Hollywood is my mentor, hands down. Hollywood was B Fats and Donald Dee mentor. Now this is gonna blow your mind. When I became a streetball announcer, I brought the Hollywood style to street basketball. Far as interacting, crowd participation, all that's DJ Hollywood. DJ Hollywood was our mentor. But the name hip hop, you understand what I'm saying, came, I think, in they say 78, 79. I'm not sure. But you know, it's a culture. You know, people explain it to me and whatever. But like I said, the name hip hop was way after we was doing it. If you check the history of the parties in Harlem, the Renaissance Ballroom was it. You understand what I'm saying? You had big time promoters from the Bronx. God bless his soul, Ray Chandler. You understand? Black Dog Production. We were already there. They saw what we were doing, and they came and rented these places. And they brought, I tell you, the biggest show they ever did was at the Audubon Ballroom. That was a big show, because you had the Bronx and you had Harlem. So what Ray Chandler did, that was big time. That was really big time. The end of the night, things didn't end right, but you know, and I ain't gonna even really touch on that. But we was doing it in Harlem, and the funny thing is, and I laugh all the time, you know, with the 50th anniversary, like, Harlem does not get no recognition. They always talk about Harlem fashions and all that stuff like that. But what about the music? What about the music? Hip hop. Here's another story you probably don't know. Dipset, formerly known as Harlem Diplomats. That started right here in the apartment where I'm at right now. My nephew is Dow Digger Branch. Cam and my nephew were tight. So when I stopped DJing, my nephew started DJing and started doing beats. And eventually him and Cam collaborated. And, you know, that logo and everything, my nephew did that, Dow Digger Branch.
Wow.
You know? And so when the hip hop, when people talk about hip hop, like honestly, I get a little irritated because like people do research, they go online, they listen to this, but yo, I'm it when it comes to what I'm saying. Like some of the stuff that I'm saying, you're never gonna find online. It's like me and you was talking earlier about the announcers. That's people that don't know.
Oh, we gonna touch on that. We're gonna
Yeah,
touch on that. We're
yeah,
gonna. Are you in? I want to get this right. K Pat for the BX said, "Are you in Tyreek's hip hop documentary?"
I ain't in nobody documentary. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, and then me being who I am and what we experience from the early part of hip hop, I'm very selective with the business part. You want me to be on your documentary, you got to pay me. You understand what I'm saying? And I just got to keep it 100. You understand? But nobody called us up, and I laughed. And then here's the thing: the biggest basketball in the tournament in the world ever is hip hop, and I laughed. I laughed because that's how it all started. And see, people talk about Rucker Park, right? Which I respect. When it was Pro-Am. As a little kid, I used to go up there and I watched Dr. J, Pee Wee Kirkland, Joe Hamden, Moto, excuse me, a lot of different legends that played there, right? But when we came to the park, right, we didn't come to the park like it is now. That's, you know what I call Rucker Park right now? I call that a damn event hall. Because everybody and their mother, I keep it 100. I don't care. I call it a event hall. Go ahead, give me that. I need it. I need that. I need that.
Yo, this is so crazy that you said that. This is so real that you said that. Wow, it's like an event space, right? You know, Nike comes around, and where they go? They go to Rucker. Look, we gonna touch it. Look, I'm glad you going that route, right? Because one of my questions was, where we at? Because man, oh man, this is real. Hold on, I don't want to skip around all over the place. We talk about, right? You were around when before the first records were made.
Yes.
Then you saw the first record get made by a record company and group from New Jersey who had nothing to do with the hip hop that was going on in New York. Right? Hold on now. You see how the commercialization of it start to happen. First, something starts in the grassroots. Then the corporation comes along. And I'm not going that Sylvia Robinson. We talking about when the corporations actually came in, right? Those independent labels, even though Sylvia Robinson did it the way they did it in Sugar Hill Gang, got a chance to get in the radio and break new ground, right? Then she came over to the Bronx and signed some crews. But now we talking about when the major corporations come in, now we talking about the changing of the game, the changing of the guards, right? And now hip hop has become a rental space. In a way,
I get
right? Now we seeing what's happening with the streetball culture. Because, you know, the big sneaker companies come in, they pour their money in, they get their big commercial, because that's all it is, a big commercial. Then they leave the neighborhood the way they found it. They take all their lights, they take all their gifts, and they go back to their corporate houses. And it happens year after year after year. Did you see that in the beginning? Especially when NBA TV came into EBC?
Well, first of all, you know, I just want to let everybody in the world know, whoever see this, watch this podcast, that the reason why we came to Rucker Park is because we was asked to leave 139th Street in Lenox because our crowd was too big. So they gave us options, and we took Rucker Park because nothing was going on there. They wanted to put us on Randall's Island. we're doing a story, so I can't really talk about too much stuff, but I'll talk about how the police department, and it was a senior citizen home, they wanted us to move. So they gave us an option. They said Randall's Island, 145th Street, or Rucker Park. We took Rucker Park. It just made sense. It had bleachers, it has all the exits and all that. So what people fail to realize and don't understand, that over the years, because we was in Rucker Park, they would call us Rucker, but it was the Entertainers Basketball Classic. Our first game that we had in that park, our crowd came, and our crowd was thousands of people because it was hip hop and street basketball. So people need to realize over the last, 80, I think, what year we did? 87, 88, whatever year we came up, until about 2017, till Greg Marius passed away, may he rest his soul.
Yes.
That was us. It wasn't the park. It was the Entertainers Basketball Classic. You understand? And then, like you said, NBA TV, right? So NBA TV observed what we was doing. Remember, NBA TV, the real name was NBA.com. You understand? And all they was doing was showing old games. So somebody came up and saw what we was doing. Some business was negotiated behind the scenes. And the rest is history. It became NBA TV. You understand? And you know why? Because of us launching that platform. Like I said, I can't really talk about it a lot, but we got a documentary that's coming out that's going to blow everybody's mind because people don't know.
Hey, listen, trust me, I do. The same way they did with Martin, Fox, and Living Color, right? And as soon as they got where they need to go, there's no more to be seen of that, right?
Right.
And to go back, I appreciate you, Dorian. Definitely Keaton the Third, right? Fat Bat Bandit. They were definitely the first. But when we talk about the commercialization of hip hop and placing it on the radio, I'm gonna give y'all some knowledge real quick. I don't know if you know this.
Okay.
Do you know? First of all, let everybody know everything major in this country started with a scam. Everything. That's great. So let me tell y'all something. Give y'all a little story. There was, of course, the Robinson family who had Sugar Hill Records, but they was connected to the mob scene. And there was a guy named Morris Levy who owned Roulette Records, right? So in order for the Sugar Hill record to get played on the radio and have consistent spins, they put the Sugar Hill record inside the sleeve of the Roulette Records cover. And when it went nationwide to all the radio stations, they already knew to play it because of the muscle behind it. And once it picked up steam, then they was able to take it out and put it in a Sugar Hill record. I told my guy Easy Mo B, the legendary producer, that story. And he said, yo, I have the original record. I thought it was a mistake with them putting the Sugar Hill record inside the sleeve of the Roulette record. The record inside the Roulette record sleeve. So if y'all want to know how and why the Sugar Hill Gang record took off, is because of that reason right there.
All right, I got something even better. I got to laugh.
Go ahead.
My father was a music producer. My father was a party promoter. My father was Bobby Robinson from Enjoy's Records partner when he had Fire and Fury label. So all the stuff you're talking about.
So Enjoy Records was in cahoots with, that was the same people?
Listen, I can't say it was the same people, but
okay.
early music industry, that stuff happens. So here's the thing. Back in the days, right, when record companies signed artists, right, MCs, I should say, they didn't sign the DJs. So technically, I wasn't signed to
like Run DMC, because Jam Master Jay was assigned to them. Yeah,
right. So what happened was my dad, he was like, "You ain't signing S with Bobby," because Bobby was a guy that didn't take care of people, you know. And his son Ronnie D was in our group. You understand? So all that stuff you're talking about, you know, I kind of know about it. You know, I'm not gonna talk too much.
Got you.
You understand? It's like Al Sharpton. I met Al Sharpton at Spring Records, right? Now, a lot of people don't even know that Stephen Rifkin, right? Father's name was Julie Rifkin.
Yeah. Who is the owner of? Go ahead.
No, I'm not even gonna go. You can say it.
Look,
Loud.
Steve Rifkin's owned Loud, and his father owned the record label that James Brown was on. Right?
Right.
So those same contracts his father was giving James Brown back in the days, Steve Rifkin was giving his rap artists in the 90s.
Right. So, and I'm not mad. I'm just saying.
No, like, it's history.
Right. It's a lot of history. People don't understand the business. That's why to this day, like, you know, like Dorian is one of my partners. You understand, on the project, Three Legends.
Yes.
You know, shout out to Gus, shout out to Dorian. And they both say, Al, you too paranoid. It's not that I'm paranoid, it's that from what I was part of the creation, I didn't get the proper money.
Facts.
For it. You understand? It's kind of like, you know, like I said, I can't talk a lot. It's gonna be in our documentary. It's kind of like being a streetball announcer. I was more than a streetball announcer. I'm one of the founders of the Entertainers Basketball Classic. You understand? But like I said, it's a lot. But go ahead, man. What else?
Nah. This, look, let me explain something to you, fam. I'm gonna just say this right now. This is just not a regular conversation right now. You have no idea. I'm a historian. A participator. So for me to tap into some of your history and that file that you have up here and have you speak some truth, it's an honor for me. And I'm gonna keep it 100, right? Because there's not too many people that I could talk basketball with, street basketball with, hip hop business, right? There's only a small few of us that kind of know what's going on. And for you to be the person that you are and the experiences that you have, this is a joy for me. All right. Now, I'm going to keep digging on this because Jules Rifkin, right? He had Spring Records.
Right.
That was his group. And he had the, funk label. They had the Beach Boys. They had, the Buchanan Boys. And of course, Polydor, right? Which James Brown was under. Oh man, this thing runs deep. This thing runs deep. If y'all go do the history of the Brooklyn Bridges, y'all see how that was built. That was a scam. That's a whole nother story. But anyway, let's keep it going on. How many records did the Disco 4 put out as a result of them getting a record deal to Enjoy Records?
We put out, some of them was double-sided, and then you had the ones with the instrumental. So I think we might have put out 3 or 4 with Enjoy, and then we end up going to Profile. And see, let me tell you a quick story about that.
Profile record, Run DMC, Special Ed. Yes. Right.
A lot of artists from Enjoy ended up on Sugar Hill, whether you know that or not.
Yep.
So when all of the other artists was going over to Sugar Hill, we got an opportunity to go to Profile. And at the time, I think we might have been the second artist that signed with them, because I think Run DMC signed with them first. Then it was us. It could have been somebody else, that was before us, but we eventually went over to Profile. We did 2 12-inches with Profile, and it was another label. I can't think of it. I don't think it was 4th and Broadway, but it definitely was another label after Profile that we signed with also.
Right.
So, I mean, I've been in the game a long time. That's why I call myself One Man 7 Stories, because I have experienced so many different things, on the positive side. The positive overweigh the negative. But
Facts.
that's why I call myself One Man 7 Stories, because I seen it all at a very young age, You understand? The Nicky Bonds. Like, people don't even understand, because like that's what it was in the 70s. And like I said, my dad was in the mix. So, I would go places with him. I would sit in the car while he go take care of his business or whatever he was doing. You understand? But I mean, the industry was the industry back then. And, like, I'm not hating on Julie Rifkin or anything. I'm just saying I experienced conversations, or I was in the presence when, matter of fact, shout out to B Fats. Posse label was Julie Rifkin. You understand? The WAP. Like, people don't even understand. I was there. I was there before Fats signed the contract with Kurt Hamilton. Like, my history is crazy. And, far as the street ball, like I said, well, I didn't say it on the show, I never wanted to be a street ball announcer, but Duke was so good that I had to figure out a way to keep Duke around. You understand? So with that being said, that's how we became partners. I kind of was like Duke's babysitter. Greg and them didn't have the vision that I had when I brought Duke. I'm the one that discovered Duke. You know what I'm saying? And I put him on. I made sure he was around. And then once those checks came in, I tried to help him out with it, but I was trying to get mine also. You understand? And, we became, which we never dreamed of, being the best duo and streetball announcing at all time. And there was one before us, Gumby, the Godfather. You understand? I love Gumby. When I used to play down in King Towers, which is known as Kingdom now,
Yeah,
was doing our games.
wow.
So, and I just want to say this also. People get it real twisted, right? We didn't create the announcing, right? We created the style of the streetball announcing that's been going on for over 40 years now. Outcast, Duke Tango. We are the creators.
What's the difference between you and you guys and Gumby, the way he was doing it?
Well, Gumby, to be honest, Gumby was the funniest, well-spoken, funniest guy I might have known. But the difference is that we interact with the crowd. We was on the court with the players. You understand? And
so Gumby was more Howard Cosell-ish. He was at the table. Was he sitting down at the scores table?
I wouldn't diss him and call him Howard Cosell.
No, not saying Howard Cosell, but we talking about as far as play by play. I never saw him. I never got the chance to experience it. So I'm coming from someone from the outside looking in.
When it comes to comedy, you understand, and mixing that in the announcing, Gumby is definitely the Godfather.
Got you. Salute to Gumby. Yes. So you guys took it to the point where you see it today. Now I want to get back to what we was talking about earlier, to that post. Salute my guy Mama Puff, you know what I'm saying? NYC prospects and everything that you guys do for the city. Salute you guys. But there was a post you wanted to talk about where they put up all the announcers and you guys were in there. And I don't think I saw Gumby as well. Did you see that post?
I mean, I saw it, and when I see stuff like that, I don't take it personal.
Right,
I laugh.
right.
You understand? Because obviously, it's just like the music industry. Okay, here's a comparison. 50th anniversary, right? They had a tree, and they did the same exact thing that these guys did with the announcing thing. They only put up things that they heard of, not things that they knew. You understand what I'm saying?
Now, me being devil's advocate,
Mhm.
if these guys are a little bit younger, could you fault them?
No, absolutely not. That's
Okay,
why I say
okay.
I don't get mad.
There you
But
go.
but they're gonna understand what it is. Like I said, what we working on. Soon they're gonna understand
Got
because
you.
like I'm not gonna say that one of the current announcers have our style or whatever. But anybody that came after us, right? They took something from us. You understand what I'm saying? Whether it's Hannibal, which was part of the team, which was if it was Booby Smooth, who was part of the team, or if it was EJ. You understand? We all had our own styles, but the foundation of what everybody's doing now for our street ball announcing, we are the founders, the creation, the foundation of all that. We, nobody can take that from us, and I only speak this way because I hear it so much from people that know, because I'm very humble. I'm silent. They always say silence is deadly, but they just instilled this in my mind, and me looking at footage and seeing what's going on today, the N1 and this and that, and that. We're the reasons why for all that. We're the reasons why.
They said sometimes silence can be in agreement to what everybody is saying as well, if you don't say anything.
And that's why
I'm silence can be like a consent.
Right. That's why I like to talk about it. And like I always tell people, even with the hip hop situation, it's all about having a platform. You understand what I'm saying? And that's what it is. Like using your show, my show, other people's shows, and telling these stories. Eventually, people gonna hear it. They're gonna say, "Oh, wow, I didn't know that." You understand? And like we really, when it came to hip hop, we really didn't have that platform. EBC, we had that platform. You understand what I'm saying? And people kind of forget. Like I said, you heard what I call Rucker Park. You understand? Everybody and their mother come there. I can't understand it. And I'm gonna say this too. I don't care. The NBA, when they came up there and they did that ceremony, right, to bless the park, right? Why the hell they didn't call me? How could you do something like that? And then you got people, what's the dude name from M1? He had nothing to do with Rucker Park. I can't Dory, type his name across there because I can't even think.
Who's that? He was
set free. He had nothing to do with that. Like, when I saw that, it disgusts me. I'm like, set free.
Who was set free?
He's from N1. Like, I think he's the one that did N1's first mixtape. You understand? So, like the politics that happened, like some of it, I just shake my head, and have to bite my tongue because of some of the politics that go on also. You understand? Because I'm still in the game, and I just don't want, people to look at me with a bad taste. But Rucker Park, I'm gonna say it again, it's an entertainment hall. You understand? Shout out to my partner Gus. He's still trying to keep the tournament going. But anything after that, and I can't get mad because I guess Parks Department is renting out the park to these people. You understand what I'm saying? But that's a event hall now. That's what I call it. Outkast said it.
Listen,
viral because it's 100%. I'm 100% right.
New York City legend, Mousy, he said, and he does this thing out of 145th, right? Tri-State.
Mm-hmm. Right.
He said, Pooh. He was doing a high school tournament, and he said, I want to run it out of Rucker. And I was like, why? When you got Tri-State? He said, Pooh, no matter what park in New York City, people can say whatever they want about their tournament and their park, but Rucker will always be the mecca of street ball, no matter how you put it. And I had to sit back and kind of, you know, for a guy who has his own park, right? And knows in his mind, like, this place of importance. Yeah, we can sit back and joke and say, you know, it's becoming an event hall, but that place is so iconic, right? I think we take for granted that it's in our city where everybody else from all over the world, especially these corporations, come and use it as an event space. And then it kind of looks like that from the outside looking in, and even for the people that's on the inside.
But real quick, I got to cut you off on that. But why? What is the reason? Who was there to make it that way? And Mousy was definitely part of the success out there. Like, shout out to Mousy. Shout out to Mousy. Love Mousy to death. Had conversations with him behind the scenes. But what is the reason why the park is so well known? Just imagine this.
Well,
Just imagine this. Just imagine us not being there. And I'm
you.
leaving on that.
No, I do believe that you guys definitely played a part in shaping definitely the street ball culture, right? No, that's not knocking you. This is not knocking you at all. But this is what I want to do, right? Because you always say, you know, you was like, yo, Pooh, keep it real, right?
Rucker Park is considered the mecca of basketball, but why is it so famous? After World War II ended, basketball was on the rise in America. The first NBA game took place in 1946, but the league mainly featured
listen.
segregation was still widespread. Growing up in New York City, Holcomb Rucker saw the hardships that many African-American kids from the inner city faced, so he wanted to do his part to help them become successful and stay out of trouble. After becoming an executive for the Department of Parks and Recreation in Harlem, in 1946, Rucker started a summer youth basketball league which played in New York City. Seeing the success it was having, Rucker decided to start a pro tournament on 155th Street in Harlem. As time went on, the tournament featured NBA and college players like Wilt, Kareem, and Dr. J, in addition to streetball icons like Joe Hammond, Earl Manigault, and Pee Wee Kirkland. Rucker used his connections in the spotlight of the league to help over 700 kids get college basketball scholarships. And after he passed away, the park was named after him in 1974. In recent years, legendary players like Kobe Bryant, Allen Iverson, and Kevin Durant have played at Rucker Park, and it remains a symbolic place for basketball culture and history in Harlem. So what is the most legendary performance in Rucker Park history?
Right.
Now,
So
I hear that. Let me ask you a question. All right. Where did Rucker start at? Like, I'm talking about Mr. Rucker. Where was his first
now, hold on. So from what I hear, from what I hear, this may bust a lot of people's bubble, but from what I hear, it started at Kingston Park in Brooklyn.
No.
This is why I hear from Coach Ray Haskins. He came on here, and I was like, really? And he named all these people that played in the game, like Jackie Robinson and all these other people that played in the game. Then they moved it up to Rucker.
127th Street and 7th Avenue. That was Rucker's first job. The park. He had a little tournament there. You understand? Like, I'm not knocking anything you just played.
No. I just, you know, again,
right.
I want to basically keep it real and bring everything to the forefront.
If you go and you ask some of the legends that's still alive, they'll tell you where he started at. You understand? Now, far as scholarships and stuff like that, I mean, I have heard things like that, which is really positive, but we gave out scholarships and stuff as well.
No, I'm not. This is not to diminish. But
okay.
This is what we're talking about, giving the full history, but because before you guys, there was activity going on in the park.
Yeah, without a doubt.
You know what I'm saying? Now, if you guys never participate in Rucker or bring the EBC there, then man, if that's all we got to live on and what was happening in the 70s, we would be looked at as the New York Knicks. You get what I'm saying? Who won it early on, right? But then nobody came on later on and won another championship. You guys brought that next level of championship there. It was you guys who brought the commercialization of that. So when you guys came, that's when the corporations, and that's when it kind of got as big as it's got.
Right. Because, I mean, there's similarities to what Pro-Am was doing to what we did. You understand? And I think what separates us from that is that we brought entertainment. We brought hip hop. You understand? We I guess we could say we started the culture of that. Like I said, when I was a little young man, I went up there, I saw things. There was a guy on the mic, you know, but it was just basic stuff. It was basic stuff. You know, like I said, I respect those guys. Shout out to all of them. But what we brought to that park, I don't think that anybody else, and I could be totally wrong, because if we did it, who knows, 30, 20 years down the road, somebody else might do something similar to what we did.
No, tonight is your night. Tonight, we're celebrating you and your accomplishments and what you brought there. So whether somebody comes along afterwards, we have to pay homage to you,
right,
as well.
And one more thing I want to do is I want to shout out to Dykeman.
That was gonna be my next question, bro.
Yeah.
You can't be reading my mind like that, like fam.
Who else? Hoops in the Sun, like all the other basketball tournaments. And see, what people don't understand is that Greg Marius had a lot of influence on these other tournaments. He was advising a lot of these guys. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, things change. The Kingdom, like, you understand? And it's kind of like, again, like the story's crazy. If you look at us, like I said, hip hop, right? Sapphire Crew. Nobody else in Harlem was doing hip hop, right? It's the same thing with us. There were streetball tournaments, but nobody was doing it like we were doing it. You understand? You didn't have the announcers. And people always tell me, Duke, and other guys, that if it wasn't because of the announcers, that we would have just been a regular streetball tournament. So, you know.
Look, I'm born and raised in Brooklyn. The announcer culture wasn't big in Brooklyn, right? Like it was up in Harlem.
Right.
Right. So all the things we used to hear word of mouth, or we had to go up there and see for ourselves. But man, you guys set a precedence that, you know, guys are still holding down today. I just was involved in bringing back my neighborhood tournament in Brevoort. And while the Rucker had this thing going on with the Pro-Am up in the 70s, Brevoort was holding high school tournaments down here in Brevoort, and we kind of brought that back. And we kind of, again, make sure that we had an announcer as well to represent what we're doing like we did in the past.
I played in Brevoort. I played in IS 275.
Talk that talk. Talk that talk.
I played in, damn, I can't even, you messed me up with all that.
You hold on. I get on a lot of guys. I get on Future about this. I done got on Shane. Like, you guys don't come to Brooklyn that much and play. Guys from uptown. But when I hear guys that came down to Brooklyn, oh, I get excited.
BRC.
Facts.
Yo,
Facts.
let me tell you something real quick, right? My cousin JR played for South Shore. You understand? So I was in Brownsville. You understand? So he got me on teams. I played on Jocko.
Yep.
Yo, one man, 7 stories. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, man.
Yo, you the truth. Listen, I want to dig up another story, right?
Okay.
Who won that game between the Disco 4 and the Crash Crew?
Are you kidding me? Oh, man.
Make some noise for the Disco 4, y'all. Wow, that's crazy, man. What year did you and Duke Tango partner up?
I mean, officially,
yes.
I want to say, we could say 86. I could say 86. See, a lot of people understand too. LA Sunshine from the Treacherous 3, he also announced games with us.
Say word.
Yeah. LA was pretty good. And
wasn't LA Sunshine brother the first artist on Def Jam?
No, not that.
Tila Rock? No, Tila Rock. You had LA Sunshine, Kumo D, and who was the other one? You had LA Sunshine, Kumo D. I think LA Sunshine brother was Tila Rock for who put out Def Jam first record, right? And I heard LA Sunshine wrote the record for him.
Now he probably wrote something for him, but I don't recall LA brother.
Special K, yeah, Special K, LA Sunshine, and I heard LA Sunshine brother was Tila Rock.
Oh, I know LA. I can't recall that. I mean, anything's possible.
And look, I'm telling you the history, brother. Yes, that's real story right there.
You know, but all of them, man, all of them. And people, yo, like I said, man, it's crazy, man. But yo, if you got more, come on, because
all right, I'm about to get you out of here. I'm about to get you out of here right now.
Okay.
Do you remember the first game you and Tango did together up at EBC?
Wow. Damn, like as Tango and Cass, because he was Duke Tango. No, he was Duke Blunt. Damn, we had a couple of names before us. So
when did Tango and Cass stick? When did that become the official name? When the movie came out?
I want to say 87, 88, 87, 88, something like that. That's somewhere around there. We was in Rucker Park.
Great time in New York City, by the way. Great time in New York City.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right. Who was the first NBA player to come out to EBC? Do you remember?
Of course I do. Do you know?
That's why I'm asking you.
Okay. Dorian, don't get mad at me. Ken Bannister.
Wow.
Played as a pro. Now that's the difference. Now we had other guys that became pros, but you said the first pro.
Facts.
And people don't listen. I got to get off here before I get in trouble, man. You'll get me hung, man. I'm giving out all this information, man.
Nah, Dorian is cool. Dorian know how I get it. Dorian know how I give it up. It's part of the culture, baby. It's part of the culture.
No
all
doubt.
right. Who runs the Rucker Park tournament today? And do they draw the same kind of crowds?
My man Gus, he runs the Rucker tournament, and it's kind of like starting over. It wasn't that great, but it was better than what it has been in the past since Greg passed away. You understand what I'm saying?
Got you.
And you got to remember also the difference, again, like I said, I said it, but I didn't say it in this way. When we came up to the park, it might have been our tournament and something downtown. I don't even think Kingdom. Yeah. Kingdom was going on. But now every other park has a basketball tournament. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, it's spread out. Streetball is definitely spread out. It's just, you know, what tournament you want to go to, you know?
Got you. If you could change one thing about your basketball journey, what would it be?
Wow. If I can change. I mean, honestly, I guess that's a tough question for me because I'm older now and I'm happy for what I did, you know, as far as basketball in general. So, I mean, I would keep it the same. Like, you know, not bragging on myself when I play, but I could play, you know, dunk, defense, dribble, you understand? But like I said, God put me in a place when I had the Harlem mentality. I idolized the drug dealers and I wanted what they wanted. But the drug game wasn't meant for me. You understand what I'm saying? So when the drug dealers started paying us for playing music, I went to all the expensive stores and got some of the stuff that they got. So I'm you know, when it comes to the actual basketball game, I'm good with it. And you know, the other thing, I don't want to get violins in it, but I also live my dream through my sons, you know, watching them play. You understand? Watching them elevate. You understand? Each of them got something from me. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, that's kind of where I'm at with that.
Dorian said he could have made so much more money. You know, that's Dorian. Cha-ching. All right, my guy, All Things Hoops. My guy, Cal Griffin said it's on his way back. Fat Joe is the street ball commissioner now. Well, if you're talking about Fat Joe, he's the street ball commissioner for Clash TV. I don't think for Rucker Park. It's for Clash TV and what they're doing.
I gotta shout Fat Joe out. Let me tell you something about Joe. Joe is real.
Yes. Salute the Fat Joe legend.
And see what people try to do. You understand what I'm saying? They come up with these different things, these different ideals, and kind of coattail off other people's fame. You know, Fat Joe, I have nothing but respect for him. You understand what I'm saying? He helped us in the tournament by bringing certain players in and stuff like that. And the main thing people don't even realize, when my boy Greg Marius passed away, Fat Joe was in that hospital with Greg, giving him that support. So, you know, respect to what Cal's saying and what people are calling people far as, you know, whatever it is. I just look at Joe as a friend, as a person that supported EBC. And I wish him the best of luck for whatever he does.
No doubt. Now we're going to get into our
Top 5. Top 5.
All right. Before we get you out of here, I have to know top 5 players in Rucker history.
Kareem Reed, Master Rob, D-Mac. Oh, wow. My big guys. I got to get Term in there. Yo, I'll keep going on and on and on.
You only get 5. One more.
Damn, I need a big. I got to say Strick. I got to put Strick in there.
Facts. Rest in peace. Yes. Rest in peace, my guy. All right. Top 5 teams. If you remember the teams that was in EBC Rucker.
Wow. Top 5 teams. Wow. That's not even tough. That's not tough. Black Graham, where you at? I'm gonna give a shout out to Graham and them. Ghostbusters.
Okay.
Posse. J All Stars. That was a good team. AJ Lester's. And without the NBA players, is this what we saying?
Whatever teams you wanna.
So if
you got one more,
I have to include Terror Squad in that also. I know. People go on my IG and they gonna be like, "Yo, Al," but it is what it is. It is what it is. To me, like one of the players always talking about the golden era, the platinum era was the beginning of the tournament. You understand? Because it was all street ball players. It was street ball players eventually becoming pros. You understand what I'm saying? So, like I said, the history is crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, my guy Althea Hoop said, "Bad Boy, Rockefeller, Murder Inc., the Posse, Mousie's Dream Team."
hey, Cal, that's when you was able to come outside to play. I love you. I love Cal.
I know. In fact. Because, you said AJ Lester. Whoa. Right?
Right.
Those that know. Facts.
Right.
Facts. And last one. Top 5 players in New York City history.
Wow. In New York City history. Okay, well, all due respect, you got to go with Joe Hamden as number 1, right? Damn, that's a real tough one. That I want to kind of Joe Hamden hands down. Wow, that's tough. I can't really say wow. I've never been stumped.
I stumped the great
Wow.
Outcast. Legendary. Woo! This is why them top 5s is good, baby.
Damn, how many times did I say Joe Hamden? But you had a lot of other players. Shit, who could I put in there? Yo, honestly, of all times, okay, the smallest man with the biggest heart, Kareem Reed. I gotta put him there. I gotta put Kareem there.
Certified.
Definitely. Who else? Who else? Now I'm just gonna focus on the era where I came from. I guess if you're talking about stats that did they thing, I guess you could put Master Rob there. You know, now here's the thing. Who
will be on soon?
Let's see. Who else? Damn, two more. That's really tough. I gotta put Turn there.
Who will soon be on the show.
Yeah. And now I'm trying to get the guys that was with us that really was in the game. One more. Who could it be? Man, we're gonna put a toss up for that last one because the last person is really hard.
Who? Down. No one stuffs Outkast like this.
No, I'm not stuck. I just don't want.
You got one more, baby.
All right.
You legendary, man. It coming from you. They just gotta respect it.
One more. That was Skip to my Lou.
Skip to my Lou. Skip. There you go. For sure. Man, let me tell you something, brother. Let me say this again. Thank you for making sure, that you're going to show this Sunday, man. And thank you for sharing these stories and your presence with us tonight, man. I want to say you are definitely a New York City legend. You have done so much on the hip hop end, being an innovator, DJ, and also becoming world-class announcer. So thank you, brother.
Thank you, man.
No doubt. Anytime you want to come on the show, whenever you want to invite me on yours, whatever you need me to do, man. And I said, whenever I see you, I got at least 2 questions that I'm going to film you and you're going to give the people, because I just love the history, man, and all the stories you're able to share, man. So I want to say thank you again. I appreciate you.
No doubt. Thanks for having me, man. Really appreciate it.
No doubt.
Right. Peace out. Thank y'all.
Peace. Salute to everybody who came down. Thank you to all my peoples. Dorian Graham, appreciate you. Cal, All Things Hoops. We got Brooklyn. Thank you. Casey Edge, thank you for coming through. Appreciate you. Artie Dom, thank you. K Pat, thank you. Appreciate you. Dorian, thank you for all the love, man. Thank you for all the stories, all the feedback. Ronald McCants, thank you. My guy, Cook Slow, producer, appreciate you, brother. Thank you for coming through. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. So many people in the check-in. Sorry I couldn't get to everybody. Questions tonight? Definitely, man. Appreciate you. Well, like I said, I am a student of the game, and I'm still learning. So when I hear that my guy is definitely a founding member and a pioneer in this genre we call hip-hop, which is now 50 years old. So love to hip-hop. And also transition to a legendary announcer for all the street ballers that was able to bless the course from 139th to 145th to Rucker Park. To all the people who he gave names to. Y'all heard all the love and all the names that was shouted out tonight. All the names that was shouted out tonight. Captain Nappy, Mr. Excitement, Nervous Phil, all right? Rambo, Showtime, Corey Williams, Anti-Gravity, MVP, Speedy, Skip to My Lou, Showtime, General Electric, all day, Dancing Doogie, Predator. You have to be official to give people names. And for them to stick all of these years, some people don't even know that, half man, half a man, half man, half amazing name is Anthony. You wouldn't know. You wouldn't know. Salute to my guys, all of them. Listen, we want to give Albie Cash his props, his flowers tonight. Thank you. You're definitely a New York City legend. For all my basketball heads on the check-in, make sure you subscribe, hit that like button over and over and over. Send this out to all your family and friends, because this is about us. This is our platform. I'm signing off for tonight. I'm your host, Glenn Pooh Harding, and you've been watching Basketball Heads Live, the podcast on NYC Basketball Network. And as we always do about this time, peace. We are the official home for New York City basketball. We out.